Welcome students. Today I am going to teach you about nomenclature. Yet one is nav dunuk tariq. Plants, animals, insects, microorganisms. Yman sari ke thode poch nav dit. And nav din kis tariq se nomenclature. As karo inshallah nomenclature mutaliq. The word nomenclature has been derived from two Latin words. Has been derived from two Latin words. First word is nomen, N-O-M-E-N, nomen, which in English means name. And second component is calare, C-A-L-A-R-E, calare, which in English means call. Therefore, nomenclature means it is the system of providing distinct and proper names to living organisms. Proper names to living organisms, by which we can differentiate and recognize these organisms. By which we can differentiate and recognize these organisms, living organisms. Initially, common names are given to living organisms. Common, or we can say vernacular names. Vernacular names are given to living organisms based on particular language, and a region of the world. For example, I will give an example of, apple. It is having a name. It's having a Kashmiri name, common or vernacular name, that is Soont in Kashmiri. The same plant, apple, is having another name, that is Seb in Urdu. The same plant, apple, is having another name, that is Seb in Hindi. And the same plant, apple, is having a name, apple, in English. Which means that a single plant is having different names in different parts of the world or in different regions of the same country. Besides, these common names sometimes become misleading, ambiguous. We are with the common names I have gave you an example that in apple it is having a name Soont in Kashmiri, and in Urdu it's called save, and in Hindi it's called save, and in English it's called apple. And further, these common names sometimes become misleading, ambiguous, or confusing. For example, I will give the example of common name lily. It is used for a group of plants. Group of plants. That means different plants having the same common name, that is lily. Another one, that is touch me not. Touch me not. This name is used for two different plants having different scientific names. One is Mimosa pudica, Mimosa pudica, Pupeduca, pudica. And second is impatiens, Impatien, impatiens balsamifera, Balsamifera. That means two different plants having the same common name, that is touch me not. Which means that these common names become misleading, ambiguous, or confusing. And we cannot communicate these common names to different people living in different countries. In order to standardize these names, number of scientists gave different procedures and different principles so as to make the names scientific. The first step in this case was provided by Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus, Carolus Linnaeus, Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus, who is remembered as father of taxonomy and systematics, who gave first scientific system of naming to living organisms in the form of binomial nomenclature. And this system of nomenclature, it is used throughout the world, wherein each plant or each organism consists of two names. The name of the organism consists of two parts, and the name used by all the scientists throughout the world. Carolus Linnaeus introduced this system. He introduced this binomial nomenclature in his book titled Species Plantarum, Plantarum, in 1753. In this book, Carolus Linnaeus introduced binomial nomenclature. Although this system was used to some extent by Caspar Buchin, Caspar Buchin, Buchin, in 1623. But the actual shape was given by Carolus Linnaeus in his book Species Plantarum in 1753. According to binomial nomenclature, the name of the organism, that is scientific name of organism. Scientific name of an organism consists of two components. Name consists of two components. Two parts are two, you can say two components. First component is called as generic name. And the second component is called as specific epithet. Specific epithet. For example, the scientific name of the same plant, that's apple. The scientific name of apple, according to binomial nomenclature, is Malus domestica. While in first part of this name, it's called a genus, or we can say generic name. While the second part of this name, that is domestica, it's called specific epithet or species. Specific epithet, or you can say species. Similarly, we take the one more example. The scientific name of walnut is, Juglans regia, Juglans regia, Juglans regia, wherein Juglans is the generic name and regia is the specific epithet or specific name, specific epithet. In addition to this, the specific name or species is followed by name of the author who first described this plant. It should be written in an abbreviated form. For example, Malus domestica, Borkh. It was first described by Borgson. And Borgson, the name of the author is called author citation. A name of the author, it should be written in abbreviated form. Similarly, in case of Juglans regia, we write Linn. It's first described by Linnaeus. Similarly, you have Mangifera indica. It is the scientific name of mango. It should be written as Mangifera indica, Linn, Linnaeus. Then you have some rules for binomial nomenclature by which we can give names to living organisms. These rules are, first rule, that means rules for binomial nomenclature. First rule, all scientific names should be in Latin language. All scientific names should be in Latin language. It's very necessary that all scientific names should be in Latin language and should be italicized. That means it should be kept in italics. Second rule is the scientific names. In case of scientific names, the first part is called, it is the generic name. That means we should write generic name first, followed by specific name. That means in case of scientific name, we should write first generic name followed by specific name. That means generic name should be written first. Generic name should be written first, followed by specific name. Third rule is the generic component of this name, it should always starts with capital letter. It should always start with capital letter. That's why I write here M capital, I write here J capital. Generic name should be written with capital letter, while as the specific epithet should be written with small letter. Third rule. And fourth and last rule is both names, that means generic as well as specific name, should be italicized. They should be italicized or underlined if handwritten. That means underlined if handwritten, or separately. Underlined if handwritten separately to indicate its Latin origin. And on the basis of these rules, and on the basis of these principles, and on the basis of this system, we can ascertain, we can give names to living organisms on the basis of these procedures. For example, if we take the example of some plants grown in a particular region, having common names, having some vernacular names, we can correct these names on the basis of binomial nomenclature. For example, I will ask you some questions about binomial nomenclature and give you a kind of work. For example, I will write some plants and also write their local names. Then English names, then incorrect scientific name, incorrect scientific name, and you have to correct these scientific names on the basis of binomial nomenclature and on the basis of rules for binomial nomenclature. That means names to be corrected. Names to be corrected. For example, first name, number one is, for example, local name is Doon. In English is called as walnut. Then I will write incorrect scientific name. Its scientific name is Jugulanus regia. I will write like this. And you have to correct it. Then second is Soont. English name is apple. and scientific name is Malus domestica. And you have to correct it. Third is year. Its English name is pine. Scientific name is Pinus roxburghi. Rocks. Then fourth one is you have Its English name is plum, and the scientific name is Prunus domestica. Prunus domestica Linn. And fifth one is, in case of animals, it is Nenemonder. In English called frog. And its scientific name is, zoological name is, that is Arana tigrana. And you have to correct it at home. With this we complete binomial nomenclature as well as nomenclature by which we can name these organisms so that they can be recognized and differentiated from others.